Everyone, welcome back to my channel. So last night I uploaded a video regarding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, their marriage, where it was heading, and unfortunately because my phone didn't have enough space at the time and it was quite late at night, I didn't really get a chance to cover everything that I wanted to cover. So today I wanted to do a bit more of an in-depth reading, looking really at their marriage, you know, in depth, and who she really is as a person, what her real game plan is. Because if you're like me and many other people, you know, we don't buy into this, you know, sweetheart act. You know, we don't believe that she is as charitable or as kind as she would like to perceive herself to be. So what I'm going to do is to just look at this in a bit more detail. So I'm going to, because I've got my phone stood up, I'm going to shuffle the way I normally would for this. So the question we're asking is, what is the true state of affairs in Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's marriage, and who is she really? You know, not the public image, but who is she really? Okay. What is the state of their marriage? Okay. So, okay. So, I will just show you the cards that have fallen out, and then I will explain. So you can see all the cards. Okay, so the two cards that have come up, first of all, is the Queen of Wands and the Strength, and these both relate to fire sign women and her being a Leo. It's just showing that the reading is about her. Now, Leo women in particular, you know, they like to be the center of attention. They like everything to be about them. You know, they'll push other people out of the way so that they're at the forefront, which is exactly what she's doing. Because next to that we have the Devil card, which shows that, you know, her intentions really are to be in control, to take over everything, and, you know, she's going about it in really underhanded ways. You know, she's not doing things the right way, the proper way that it should be done in the royal family, or just in general for anyone, because that's the kind of person that she is. I have heard rumours that she has employed some kind of witch to help her get where she wants to be, because, you know, if you look at her career, you know, she isn't really that talented. When she met Prince Harry, she was a nobody, and he wasn't even really that into her in the first place. And, you know, the next thing you know, they're getting married. It's, you know, it was just really strange, you know, and she's just so disingenuous. She isn't a genuine person at all. You know, the devil will lie to you, you know, the devil will steal, the devil will cheat, you know, so everything that you see publicly is not who she really is at all. You know, I mean, on this one, the devil is a woman, you know, which is interesting, because on the traditional tarot deck it's a man, but I feel here it really speaks to the fact that it is a woman, because people always assume that women, you know, are good, they're delicate, they wouldn't do anything wrong, but that isn't the case at all, especially with Meghan Markle, because she has a very masculine energy. You know, her thoughts and her actions are very masculine, you know, they're very self-centered. You know, she does have a lot of strength, you know, which for her, because of what she's aiming to do, you know, I suppose it works in her favour, or she thinks that it does. Now, if we take a look at the rest of the cards, like we look at the marriage. Now, the three of coins is just related to, obviously, Meghan, Harry, and Archie. You know, so it's just showing, obviously, that their child is, in a way, holding the marriage together. Now, the Four of Coins next to it is about holding on to something too tightly. It's about being possessive. It's about being jealous. It's about being controlling. And in these circumstances, that fits because she seems to control everything. You know, if you look at videos of when they attended the Lion King premiere, you know, and I said this in the video from yesterday, but, you know, he was trying to pull his trousers up and she, you know, she smacked his hand away, you know, and she kind of pulls him around like a rag doll, and you could just see it in his eyes that he's, you know, the light is just leaving his eyes, he's losing his hair, you know, and that shouldn't be happening in your first year of marriage. You know, it really shouldn't be happening, and people can believe the fairy tale all they want, but a lot of people, you know, are more switched on and spiritually aware know that isn't true, you know, because I've always been able to read people and I can read her like a book, and there isn't one good thing that she's wanting to do from this. It's all about making her look like this amazing charitable woman, you know, and she wants to be queen, you know, and in her head she always will be queen, which is why we've got the Queen of Wands, because it's the Meghan show. It will always be about Meghan. Harry is only a player in her game. He means very little to her in terms of genuine love and affection. He's just another pawn in her game of chess to get what she wants. And Harry is shown here, but the fact that he is so far down in this reading, he's not even next to her, shows how far down the list of her priorities he is. We've got the Eight of Swords reversed, which shows that there's a lot of arguments and disagreements between them. Upright, it talks about being imprisoned in circumstances. You know, this way it still is, but there's just, you know, there's things keeping him there, you know, that he knows that he has to stay in that situation for a period of time. The Ten of Wands reversed. Again, he's getting completely fed up with the situation, but the one thing that's really keeping him, well, two things. The first thing is obviously their son. And the second one is obviously the protocols within the royal family. You know, even though they really don't like her, they're telling him that he has to keep up appearances. He has to try and make it work for a certain period of time, otherwise it looks bad on them. You know, they would have to do damage control and things like that. You know, there's a lot of irons in the fire. This is an interesting one because it shows that Harry has been thinking about leaving the relationship. And if it's turned this way, it would show that it's completely done dead. But the fact that it's this way shows that he has been thinking about it a lot. But I feel because she is a master manipulator, you know, she has started, you know, paying attention to him more, making him feel loved and safe and secure so that she can keep him around to fulfill her needs, essentially. To fulfill her purpose, because, you know, she's like, oh no, I'm not done yet, you know, I've got all these things that I need to tick off my list. So he's just being kept around so that she can fulfill that. If you look at her dating history, you know, she went from Trevor Engelson, who was a director, and he helped her get a part on Suits. As soon as she got a part on Suits, she sent the wedding rings back in the post. And then she's with Corey, I can't remember his surname, but he's a chef. And basically what she does is she mirrors the people that she's with to make them fall in love with her. So with Trevor, you know, he liked to smoke a lot of weed, he had certain hobbies, so she started doing that. you know, to kind of mirror him, you know, so she could get what she needed from him. And then with Corey, he was a chef, so all of a sudden she started writing the TIG and things like that. And oh, my amazing avocado toast. No one cares. I love anyone can make avocado toast. You know, and then when she met Prince Harry, you know, she started turning up at events where he was, even though they weren't that serious at the time. He had at least 3 or 4 girlfriends at that point. And she just started turning up in places, you know, and there's some really famous photos where I think he was at his best friend's wedding, and she turned up, and there's just pictures of her looking so seethingly angry. And, you know, it's just really awkward pictures, and people like to button them up, you know, but the fact of the matter is, I'm sorry to tell you this, if anyone disagrees, but she's not a nice person. And it's got nothing to do with race, it's got nothing to do with her background, it's the fact that she's a devious, manipulative woman, and she's not genuine at all. And it's nothing to do with race or anything like that. And, you know, it really offends me when people try to say that anyone who has anything bad to say about anybody who, you know, is of colour or is mixed race is a racist. It's nothing to do with that. People can be bad people regardless of their skin colour, you know. So I just wanted to get that out there, because I just think that it's a really weak argument, you know. I don't care where she comes from. It has nothing to do with her skin colour, what country she comes from, you know. This, I'm saying it as it is, you know, and they're not influenced by how I feel about her. It's, you know, tarot cards work based off the reality of the situation. You know, I don't influence them with my personal feelings towards her. That isn't how it works. I read for hundreds of people every single month, you know, and if they tell me a little bit about the situation, my tarot cards, you know, they don't go off my feelings on the situation. It's how it is. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify that. Now, if we move down, so we've got the King of Wands, Harry, here, and as I was saying with the Ten of Swords, with her putting on this act to him to get what she wants from him. Interestingly enough, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, she is holding a coin, so for her, it is all about the money. But with the Queen of Pentacles as well, she is the archetypal mother, you know, she looks after everyone in the household, she looks after herself, you know, she does everything by herself, she doesn't want anything from anybody. Whereas with Meghan, she's doing these things to get the dollar, to get the coin, to get the fame, to get the fortune, to get this love and adoration that she so desperately wants. And, you know, that is the reason behind everything. You know, for her, it's all about having this and having this crown. It's all about status for her. Now, interestingly, I'm going to get some more cards out with these last 3, because these are quite interesting. So, how does Harry really feel towards Meghan? Oh, okay. Oh dear. Okay. Just fill this up here. Okay, so we've got the Two of Cups reversed. Now, the Two of Cups upright is all about genuine love. It's about soulmates. It's about an eternal loving connection that binds you beyond normal human, you know, feelings and capacity of understanding. And the fact that it's reversed says to me their relationship is in deep doo-doo, and there is no love there at all. The only thing that is keeping him in this marriage is their son, which is represented by the Fool as well, because the Fool represents young souls, children. So literally the only thing keeping him in his marriage at the moment is his child, and obviously his obligation as a member of the royal family, which he is aware of. He knows. He signed up for it. Well, he didn't, but he was born into it, so he understands that there are certain expectations of him. The problem we have is with Meghan is she brings out the worst qualities of the King of Wands, because she's making him want this fame and fortune, you know, all the attention to be on them. So he's kind of feeding into it, you know, a little bit, because he wants that as well, because he's the spare. You know, for him, his entire life, William has always been the important one. William's always been the one that's got all the attention. So unfortunately now it is coming out in a wrong way. And, you know, in the beginning she was kind of like a surrogate mother figure to him, because she wanted something from him, and because obviously Princess Diana died when he was about 11 or 12, and because he lived with his father the majority, you know, of his life, he didn't really have his mother's influence. And so sometimes people like that, when they've been through something like that, they will cling to women, you know, to mother them and provide for them, nurture them. And because obviously she was playing a game, she did play that role in the beginning, and then obviously as they've got married, I think literally the day they got married, her demands went down and everything went out the window. You know, that's the kind of person that she is, because she's a narcissist, which is displayed with the devil again. Let's see. So yeah, I feel like the only thing that is keeping him in that marriage is their son, but I do have a suspicion that he may be seeing another woman. Okay, yeah, I do feel he's seen another woman. There's lots of rumours going around that he is seeing Chelsea Davy again, and I feel like it could possibly be true, because I feel like this is a past connection. You know, there's also, you know, floating around that he went to see James Spencer's first, well, I think it was James Spencer, Diana's brother anyway, his first wife. He went to see her in South Africa, and he was expressing his regrets of getting in the marriage, you know, and he was pussy power, as I like to call it. He was struck by the amazing sex, and that is how narcissists will really win, with amazing sex, and they will make you feel like no other person can ever satisfy you that way, and that is how you get a spell cast on you. So just be mindful of that. Now, I feel like with Harry, with his son, he's really open and loving, and he really wants to be a good parent. He wants to be there for his son. He wants to make the right decisions. You know, he just really wants to get into that role. You know, I don't think Harry is a bad person at all. You know, a lot of people think that he is, but I don't think he is. I think he's extremely misguided. He didn't have the best upbringing. You know, his parents, since the day they got married, essentially, they had problems. You know, his mother, she was a wonderful, sweet, amazing woman. You know, she's fantastic, and Meghan's trying to replicate that, because she knows that he is missing that link in his life. And to be honest, I think Princess Diana's turning in a grave over this whole thing, but, you know, that's a different story. But, you know, he's so desperate to be a good father to his child. And, you know, not that Charles wasn't a good father, but he was emotionally distant, and he did get better as he got older, but he always felt like he wanted really to be more of a parent, like his mother was, like Diana was. You know, and he just loves his son so much, and he wants to do right by Archie, which is a ridiculous name for a descendant of the royal family, by the way. It's so common. And I asked about his feelings for Meghan, and it's in reverse, so it shows that he thinks that she's overly emotional, she's cruel, she's not compassionate, she's not understanding, she's not a very good mother, you know, because if it was this way, you know, this is like that, and the Queen of Pentacles is the perfect mother, you know, the generous, the dedicated to the children, but she's got no interest in her child whatsoever. It's all about her, and she's very emotionally manipulative. You know, she's got hormonal problems, you know, hormonal imbalance, she's got mental health issues, you know, so these two cards really show, so it's that way, where he is at the moment, and there's no genuine love there at all. The Seven of Pentacles, if it was upright, it shows building on a relationship, you know, taking the steps to make it right, whereas reversed, it just shows that there's nothing further that can be done. You know, that, you know, it's all in her hands. He's kind of just sat there feeling hopeless, like there's nothing he can do, but, you know, he's wrong about that. And the Two of Coins, it, you know, it shows them, they're basically sticking together publicly for the money, for the public appearance, you know, and they appear, you know, to be happy and in love, but that isn't the real state of affairs. Just look in his eyes. There's no light in his eyes. His soul has been drained from him. Now, so that covers their marriage and his feelings. And what I wanted to cover is how she is as a mother, because from what I've seen so far, she isn't a very good mother. She's not a natural mother at all. And again, her child is just a prop. So I'm just going to delve into that next. And that will be where we leave the video. And I'm interested to know what you want me to do a video on next on this subject. So, how is Meghan Markle as a mother? Oh, okay, all these cards wanted to come out. Let's see. Oh. Oh. Okay, these all wanted to come out. Oh, just as I thought. Okay. So there's a lot of extra cards that have come on here, but there's just two that I wanted to focus on because it's just completely confirmed my suspicions. Now, the Eight of Cups is about loss and regret, and you know, not having an emotional attachment to a situation anymore. So the fact that we've got the Eight of Cups and the Empress reversed, because the Empress is the mother card in the deck. She is not a natural mother at all. She did not give birth to this child. She has no emotional connection to the child, and she just sits there every day thinking, what the fuck have I done? So that's just really made me laugh, because that is what I've suspected all along, and it's just been confirmed for me. So, and the Two of Wands reversed as well. It just shows that they won't get on as he gets older, because she doesn't connect with him on any level. She doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know how to handle him. You know, she just, what can I say? They just wouldn't get along as he got older. You know, I feel like they're completely different people. I actually think Archie is a very sweet little boy, and he will grow up to be very kind, very gentle, very humble. You know, I feel like he's the complete opposite to her. And the Moon reversed, again, is an indicative of a woman who has problems with her reproductive system. So I feel that she can't carry a child, which I have discussed before in previous readings, but she just doesn't have any kind of connection with her child whatsoever. Like, if it was this way, this is about like psychic connections, and usually mothers with their children, they are very connected to the child. For example, with my son, I can always tell when he's going to be ill before he is, because I get a feeling in my chest, you know, when I know when something's wrong, before he does a lot of the time. Well, he's only 2, he's not going to know, but you know, I have that feeling with him, you know, and I have that bond, and I know when he's safe, you know, if he's staying out somewhere else, because I love him. You know, he's my son, and I love him with every single atom of my being, and she's just not a natural mother at all. She just really, really isn't. And, you know, like, Harry showing up here as being the more active one in the situation. And, you know, he's kind of taking charge, you know, not that you see publicly, because she wants to show that she's the one that's in charge, but behind the scenes, she's not a good mother. She's not a natural mother at all. She's very much like her mother, Doria. Her mother was not present for most of her life, and don't buy into this. She was an air hostess. She was in prison for a lot of it. She was a drifter. She smoked weed. You know, she didn't care about Meghan like that. So you know, if you're watching this and you've got any doubt, don't believe it. Don't believe it, because Doria was not present either. And I suppose that's what they bonded over, the fact that their mothers weren't really present in their life. I was going to ask another question. Oh, okay, I've got one final question that we'll cover. Okay, so I'm going to be asking, why have so many nannies left in a short space of time? Why have so many nannies left in a short space of time? What is Megan hiding? What is she doing? Okay. Nine of Swords is all about fear, so she fears being caught out, you know, because I feel like they're asking about the birth, you know, how she gave birth, you know, who the doctors were and things like that, because usually with things like that, they like to know, you know, with health history and things like that, so that they can get an accurate portrayal of the child that they're looking after. See, we've got the Four of Wands reversed. Now, if it was upright, it would be a happy place to work, a happy home. I actually feel like there's very bad juju where they live, and there's just arguments going on all the time. Harry doesn't want to be around her. You know, she's kind of shut herself away from him, you know, in a room, and she's just, it's all under her control. There's no happiness there at all. And, you know, she's very determined. The Knight of Swords is about getting what you want. She's very determined to do things her way and have things her way. And if anyone dares question her on things, they are cut straight away. And that's how it's always been with her. People are not allowed to question her actions, her motives, because it's her way or the highway. You know, you think that she was the queen with the way that she's acting. It's ridiculous. Now, the death card isn't, there's no death. It's not as dramatic as that, but it just shows that she just cuts the situation off immediately if she's not happy, you know, and she will just find really strange things to get rid of them for. Oh, I don't like her hair. She's too pretty. She's too nice. You know, and that's the kind of person that she is, because she's a narcissist. If anyone threatens her in any way, intimidates her, makes her feel less special, she will cut them out. So that is what I wanted to discuss in more detail from the reading I did last night, because this has covered a lot more, which I'm really happy about, and I hope that it's answered some questions for you guys as well. If you want me to go into detail about any other issues around, you know, the Markle debacle, then please do let me know. I welcome any kind of comments. You know, if you don't believe this, that's fine, that's up to you. If you want to support Megan, again, that's fine, that's your choice. But obviously, you know, you can't deny that there's a lot of questions around her and the way that she is as a person, and how they went to a Lion King premiere instead of a memorial for where a lot of soldiers died. I think it was in Ireland, you know, that Harry is a patron of, and they decided to go to the Lion King premiere. It really says where their priorities are, doesn't it? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and thank you for watching again, and I will see you soon.